Location doesn't matter to you.
Location doesn't matter to me. Whether we're in Dubai or Barbados, it doesn't matter. What matters, I guess, is the setting, the environment that we're in. So I wouldn't want to meet you in a club. I don't.
So you.
But if it's a get together, I feel like a get together is very relaxing and chill.
But my thing is this though, baby. How can you say location doesn't matter? Because if we came to, let's say for example, right, I lived in Nigeria, you lived in America, right, and there was a seminar, an event, a Christian event that was happening in Nigeria, and you flew down for that event, and we met, right. At the end of the whole situation, right, you're coming back to America, I'm staying in Nigeria. Yeah. How does that not matter?
Well, the situations are different. I understand about the reason why I say it doesn't matter is because I came from New York, you came from DC. We met in a certain place and we went our separate ways.
Understand what I'm saying, baby? It's easier when you're from the same country.
Yeah, I understand that. You're saying if I meet somebody from a different country. So disclaimer, I would never want to meet somebody that's not in the same country as me. Let's put that out there. So when you said location, I thought you just meant like we both traveled on vacation and then we met in Dubai, but you're actually from the US. In my head, you're automatically from the US. That's what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking you were saying.
So there's levels to long distance relationship.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I didn't know you were talking about you're living in Dubai and I'm living in America. No. I want to be in the same country as you.
Blessings and love. It is always a great day here at Refuge and Fortress. My name is Emmanuel O.
And I'm Lonnie O.
And this is Philia. And today we're talking about how we met part two. How we met part 2. So, continuing where we left off last time. So we spoke, we met, we got to know each other briefly for those couple of days, and I made a decision and said, "You're gonna be my wife." It was a good look. God brought a woman to me. I anointed her as my wife right then and there, and I said, "This is what it's gonna be," and that was the promise. But then there was a process.
Yes.
And the process
is a process.
To the promise was a process. Right?
Which is interesting because that's also how, as Christians, you got to think about stuff like that. God has a promise for us, right? We're going to get to that promise.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that there is a process to get there.
Yeah.
But don't give up. Don't let go because he's with you. And that's exactly what happened with us in our relationship.
Absolutely.
There was a process, right? So when he went his separate way, I went my separate way. We started dating, like I said. We only saw each other once a year. I didn't go see him. He didn't go see me. It was just like, stuff was just going on.
Yeah.
So, and I think you actually moved farther away from DC.
I definitely did.
Right. So it's not even like, I could drive down to DC and go see you. No, he was like in Ohio. I'm going to have to fly down there. So like it just wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
So 2 years long distance.
So sorry, baby. Yeah. Convention, the same place where we met, the same event where we met. Became an excuse for us to meet again every year.
So it became our meeting point for the first 2 years of our relationship.
Right, for the first 2 years of our relationship. Every time we would meet, every time convention was coming up, we were ready for it. Yeah. We would book the flight for it and fly out.
The funny thing about that is, between that year, there was always issues. It wasn't it was rosy. We broke up so many times in between that year, but for whatever reason, conventions coming right up, we were always back on track. You know what I'm saying? So we'll meet up, but it was just like it was a roller coaster. The first 2 years.
Absolutely.
So after the first 2 years, he then decided to move closer to me.
Yes.
So he moved to Jersey. I was in New York, so it's still the same thing. It's closer than Ohio, I tell you that.
Yeah.
So he moved to Jersey, and we can then say that was the start of our relationship. Because long distance relationship is different from when you're in person.
Absolutely.
You get to see the person
for real in
all form. And that was really the start of our relationship. We pretty much did like a intro the first 2 years, and then started, what do they call it, preface? You know when you're reading a book and they have like the preface or the intro, and then you now start chapter 1.
Yeah.
Chapter 1
chapter 1 just started.
It just started.
So we went long distance, roller coasters of the relationship, getting to know each other. And here's the thing, right? So before we jump over into when I moved to New Jersey, right? Let's talk about what happened within that long distance relationship first. within the long distance relationship, while we were dating long distance, right? We kept communication alive.
Yes.
We would talk on the phone as much as we could.
Even when we had issues.
Even when we had issues, yeah.
Even when we were like, oh, we're not together anymore. We still.
And somebody said, I just heard somebody in the spirits, right? I just heard it. Somebody just said, how were you having issues in long distance relationship?
Boy.
My brother.
It was a boy that said it. It was a guy that said it. Boy, don't you know?
So the kind of issues we were having was very minute too, right? But because we were getting to know each other, it was amplified.
Yeah.
If we didn't call at a certain time, there was a problem.
Or I called you and I didn't hear back from you in a couple of hours.
Or I called you and you didn't pick up your phone. What are you doing?
What's going on?
Or
who's that I just heard in the background? I just heard some girl's voice. Who is that?
Or you send me a picture and it's like, whose hat is that? That's not my hat, right? Where'd you get that from?
And you just said, okay, what? What does okay mean?
or I'm trying to have a conversation with you and you're giving me a one word response.
So K. What's K?
What's going on? Right? So
those kind of
issues, right? And we kept having those issues because again, we're getting to know each other from the beginning. Like we're just really starting to know each other.
And then also you also have to think about the fact that we're in two different places with our people. So we have friends, we have, different things that we're seeing. You're seeing people coupled up, you're seeing couples together, and you're sitting there thinking, where's my boyfriend or where's my girlfriend? And that starts to play something in your mind, and you're like, is this really working? This is not really working. I don't really want this. I'm tired of this. That kind of thing happens.
Exactly.
Because you're in a whole different world, he's in another different world, and it's like this battle that's happening.
Man, so we were dealing with a lot of back and forth back then, but we made it work. We made it work because when we decided it was going to be each other, it wasn't a blur of the moment decision. We knew
we were sober.
We were very sober, right?
Yeah.
That was a decision. Yeah. And we knew that we would have to work on the thing, on it, and to make it work.
It would be challenging.
We knew it was going to be challenging, and in fact,
we still made the decision.
And I remember before we went our ways, before you went to New York and I went to DC, we spoke about it, right? Because we said, hey, do you know that us saying yes to each other equals long distance relationship till God knows when, right? And we said, we know, but we weren't ready for what would actually happen when you go into a long distance relationship. So, but a lot of downs, but a whole lot of good, a lot of ups as well, right?
I mean, it had to have been for you to have moved. To keep it going, he moved closer.
So how did we cope with the long distance? We focused on what was working.
Yes.
We focused on what was good.
Yeah.
We focused on the future.
Yes.
What the future holds when we finally get together. Because long distance wasn't going to be forever.
It wasn't, exactly.
It was just for now.
Exactly. And that's another thing you have to keep in mind when you're in a long distance relationship. What is the end goal? You don't plan to be in long distance forever. There has to be a plan you're working towards.
Yeah.
And that we kept that in mind as well. And we stayed communicating. That's also important. Yeah. That's all you got in a long distance relationship.
Yeah,
holding on to communicate.
Communication and hope. Keeping hope alive, right?
Exactly.
Holding on to that beautiful future that you see.
That one day
is what's gonna keep you going.
I'ma hug you.
Exactly. I'll be able to hold you.
One day I can hold your hand like,
One day we'll go to the movies together, right?
You're here.
Right?
Right.
So that happened, and then it just got to a point I was like, you know what? This back and forth we're doing is not making any sense.
Yeah, I can do live over there too.
And I'm switching jobs. I want to work on Wall Street. I'm trying to, get a bite of the big apple, right?
Right, exactly.
Man, I came to New York. Oh my goodness. Let me just start right there. My first time in New York, you would be the one who brought me to New York. That's number one. I got to New York and my tires was like, boom, boom. Potholes and doom, doom. I'm like, wait a minute. Wow.
That's New York.
Nigeria found its way into America.
It really is. That's Lagos for you, man.
New York was Lagos on steroid.
Yeah.
I was like,
and coming from where you're coming from is like.
And I was coming from Maryland, who moved to Ohio.
That's different.
We have paved roads. Everybody was calm and quiet, very nice to each other. It was a different culture. It's not very crowded.
The culture is different.
And then I came to New York and it was a huge culture shock, right? I remember one thing that we always argued about when I first moved to New York. So if you live in Maryland, you would know this. A lot of times when people do things for us, maybe you go to the supermarket and somebody, a cashier rings you up and then gives you your bag, right? You say, thank you. For those who are from Maryland, maybe DC, maybe Virginia, there's something we say, thank you, baby. We call them baby, right? Whether you're a girl, whether you're a guy, maybe not a guy, but most of the time, the girls, right? We say, thank you, baby,
Why?
right? So
why?
It was just a general thing. It didn't mean anything. Right? So I would come to New York. I came to New York. My cashier or somebody will hold the door for me. Or somebody will. I'll just say thank you,
sweetheart.
Thank you, baby. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you, baby.
Something like that.
Honey. And then you look at me like, baby, you want? No, don't baby me. Don't baby me. You just call her baby. How many people is your baby? Thank you, sweetheart. Sweetheart, you? No, I don't. No, I don't.
Oh my goodness.
And he's like, that's just like, it's just. We just talk. Like, that's just how it is. I'm like, no, it's not over here.
My dear, this was a huge issue.
Yes.
In the beginning of me moving to
And he couldn't understand. Like, for him, it was just like, yo.
For the life of me, I could not understand.
It's not that big of a deal. It's just be nice. Mind,
I've been used to that, right? That was how I spoke at that time.
And I haven't been used to that.
Right, and you were trying to take it away from me. And I'm like, this girl, I just got here. You're trying to change who I am already?
If you are going to use that your mouth to still call me baby, don't call somebody else baby. Don't call somebody else baby or sweetheart.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, sweetheart. Sweetheart to call. Or Nini.
Oh, so it was a huge deal.
That was just one.
It was an adjustment for me, right? I had to change that.
So many adjustments.
So I said, hey, okay, so if we're going to make this work, I can't keep doing this,
And you know what? That first year he moved was really like crunch time really for us, because we did want to be with each other, but we really just started to get to know each other for real,
right?
That's where the cooking came in. I'll make food for him and he'd be like, it's all right. I'm like, it's all right. I don't cook for nobody. I cook for you. And somebody, it's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right. It's like, I want stew. I don't want soup. Give me yato. What's the difference? I want soup with rice. I don't want
soup. Let me pause. Let's pause right here for a second. Soup and stew. Two different.
This is the only person that I know that makes such a distinction. I know the difference.
You know it now.
No. I know the difference then.
You know it now.
But to me, it's like ofeja rice. What for beje or bez?
It has to be stew. Rice stew, not rice soup. In my experience, soup is watery. Soup is maybe.
Can you use it to use rice? Yes.
Maybe. But stew, on the other hand, stew, rice stew,
he just
fish
had
stew.
No, he just had a particular taste and desire when it came to food, and I had to learn it, which was not a problem because I did and I mastered it. Hello, not a problem.
The key here,
but anyways,
the key here. Hold on. The key here is because we just mentioned two things that we both had to adjust and add issues with.
Yeah.
The key here is know your person. Know what they like, what they don't like, what they appreciate, what they don't appreciate.
Yeah.
And don't hide from letting them know.
No, exactly.
I knew that I was going to be eating your food for life.
Especially if that's the only food you're going
to eat. Especially if that's the only food I'm going to eat, right? It's not like we're getting into a marriage or we're getting into a relationship and I'm telling myself, if she can't cook, that's okay. I'll just eat outside. Or every time I need to get something to eat, I'll just order in or something like that. And look, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, some people, they're okay with that.
If that's how you roll, that's how you roll.
It wasn't okay for him.
For me, I was like, okay, no, I want to eat at home. I want home-cooked meal.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but sometimes.
Yeah.
And when I do eat home-cooked meal, I want to eat good, right? And if you're making whatever it is that you were making back then, salt was north, sugar was east.
First of all, my sauce konjari.
Don't play.
Let's not even do that.
Loni?
Yes.
Oh.
Salt milk.
It was pepperish.
Don't. Yeah.
It was pepper. Your salt, Loni.
My sauce never.
Don't play that one, John. Your sauce was.
My sauce
Oja. Salt and pepper. This one took it to a whole different level. Thousands of salt. A million pepper.
I don't have taste board. You see what happened was I don't have taste board. So imagine if I see mon taste me taste that so much that's
Guys, she cooks and we're all sweating. You need cold water, you need milk, you need a fan. You gotta take your shirt off because it's that
It really
spicy.
was not that spicy. At least for me, it wasn't that spicy.
Baby, I know people who can come and testify to this fact.
I was shouting it down. Don't bring Gladys on here. Gladys
but here's the thing. So that wasn't gonna roll with me, right?
Yes.
And I had to let her know.
Graciously
so.
And
it wasn't your food is bad. No,
and that's another thing
it was babe.
This ain't working for me.
I can only pretend for so long, bro.
I can only drink so much water.
I can only drink so much milk. I'm gonna need you to fix this. And you know, and she was always wondering, well, you don't like my food? And I'm like, look, I love your food and I appreciate the fact that you can cook and you want to cook for me. But if you're going to continue cooking for me,
and I want to say this. I think what you hear us saying in that is we were totally honest with each other.
Yes.
That year.
Yes.
Because after that year was a turning point for our relationship. Mm-hmm. Because we went through so much things. He's in a new circle. Like we had so much things like just thrown at our relationship. And we had to make a choice.
Absolutely.
But in order to do that, we had to be honest with ourselves.
Yes.
Is this gonna work?
Yes.
Can we take this? Am I okay with this?
Yes.
Are you okay with this? Can we move forward?
Yes.
With this? We had to be honest.
We had to be honest.
Yeah.
I love that. Because when I first moved to New York and we really, really started dating in person, it was like...
It's like you didn't know me.
Right. It was like who is this person?
Right.
Right? Because, you ask a question on the phone.
You get the answer.
You get your answer, And whenever we spoke was when we felt good, right? On the phone, it was like, we look forward to meeting and talking.
Yeah, we focus on the good part.
The good part while we were away. But then now that we're really in person and I saw how you reacted to situations.
Right.
You saw how I reacted to situations. I saw your friends. You saw my friends.
Right.
I saw, different culture,
things,
different
right.
upbringings, different beliefs, different point of view on situations. And it was like, wow.
Wait a minute.
Who is this person?
Yeah.
And it was at that point that, again, we chose each other.
Yes.
Because we could have decided, hey, this is not working out. You're a completely different person than I am. Maybe you should go your way. This was a mistake. Let me go back to where I came from. You keep doing what you got to do. God bless you, right? But we came together. We had a conversation. And we said clearly, something's got to give, right?
Yeah. And it was a matter of being able to be in a position, both of us, where we looked at each other and were like, you know what? For you, I can make this change. Mm-hmm. For you, I can adjust this. Mm-hmm. Because you got to understand, it's not even about changing who you are, because who you are is ingrained in you.
Yeah.
That's going to be forever.
Mm-hmm.
You've already said yes to that person.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's things that things that you just want to tweak, where it's like, you know what, this can be better.
Yeah.
This doesn't have to be like this.
And I love
you have
that.
to come to the conclusion that, you know what, I'm willing to do that for you.
Yeah. And what you're doing for this person is not changing yourself,
who you are,
but you're becoming a better version of yourself for that person. In other words, I wasn't saying, or you weren't saying to me, we couldn't do A, B, C, and D.
Right.
It was just, that's not a good reflection of who you are. Unless that's who you are, then okay, I understand.
Then I got to make a decision if I'm okay with that.
Exactly, right? If let's say, for example, just random example, right? You are the kind of person who every Friday, every Saturday, you want to go out, you want to party, right? Every Friday, every Saturday. That wouldn't work with me, right? And I personally don't think every woman should be like that. That's just me personally. That every Friday, every Saturday, you go out to party, literally every Friday, every Saturday. In me trying to tell you, babe, pipe it down. Relax. Stay home sometimes. Or don't even bother going to the clubs, right? Because if you're a child of God, as you've claimed to be, behold, all things are new. You've given your life to Christ.
Yeah, things will change.
Things has got to change.
Things will change.
Whatever it is you're going to the club to do
to you are not
would
anymore.
not be of great interest to you anymore when you are in Christ. Behold, you are a new creature in Christ.
Absolutely.
So if you're saying you're a kingdom sister, and I'm saying I'm a kingdom brother, and as a kingdom sister, you want to go clubbing and partying it becomes a lifestyle for you, then you haven't really changed. Christ hasn't really come inside of you yet. And so if I'm making the suggestion to you, hey, we got to fix this, we got to stop this, we got to change this is not a reflection of who a kingdom sister should be. I'm only looking to make you a better person, not to change you. Not to be like, oh, you don't want me going partying. Oh, you don't want me going clubbing. No, that's who I am. That's my personality. You just got to accept me for who I am. A boy, bye. If you had told me that, I would just carry my bag, carry my luggages, and boom, I'll be gone. You know, because I'm not looking to change nobody. But if you want to be better, okay, let's talk. Right? If I want to be better and you're looking to make me better, okay, let's talk, right? So that was what it was for us. There were so many
different things. That's just an example.
That's just an example, right? I'm not saying
I'm a good girl.
No. You didn't even like partying and stuff like that. No. That was just a random
Put me in front of a TV. Woo! I'll be all day.
Even the TV, girl. Even the TV.
Okay, that's no. But what I did want to say was, it was a choice that we made. Yeah. And after that year, it was a turning point, right? After that, it was a turning point. We literally chose each other.
Made a decision.
And I'm telling you, after that year, things got smoother in our relationship. It's almost like we walked through everything. Yeah. And that was in 2014. That's when we made that decision. 2 years later, we got engaged. 2 years later, we got engaged. A year later, we got married.
A year later, we got married.
After we got engaged.
Yes, after we got engaged.
A year later, we had our baby.
So we're probably going to make another video talking about our engagement, the process of the engagement, how I spoke to your dad, how we met.
Yeah. I was going to say, should we? But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you know.
Because there's so many things you can learn too.
There's no rush, right? This segment is about getting to know us.
Yes. So after we chose each other, 2 years, we kept working on our relationship. Yeah. Also, even while working on our relationship, we were working on ourselves individually. Yes. You know, we were in school, we were working. You know, he was working. Let me tell you how many jobs this man has done.
Oh yeah.
Running business, like we were building. At that point, we were building our life together.
Yes.
And then came the engagement. Yep. So we'll pick this up.
Yep. And so that is all we have for today. Next time, we're going to talk about the engagement / the marriage and how we went about it, how it was, what we did, traditional wedding, white wedding and stuff like that. And maybe you are at the verge of getting married too. And you want to wonder, what should I do with my engagement? Right. Do I need to talk to this person or that person first? Do we need to, what is dowry, right? Who talks about dowry anymore? It's 2023.
And even understanding our culture, right? And how we go about the marriage and the wedding and stuff like that.
So I hope we've shared a tip or two to help solidify your kingdom relationship with self, with others, and with God.
Today, do not forget to like, to share, to hit that subscribe button so you can watch the next video, and comment any questions or any comments you have down below.
And until next time, be the light,
be the salt,
and remember, all things are possible if you believe.